Stephen Baker's life was turned upside down when he was sentenced to over 12 years in federal prison for conspiracy to distribute marijuana. His crime? Cannabis, a substance now legal for medicinal and recreational use in 38 states. Baker, a former Montmagny resident, faced unimaginable losses during his incarceration. His house burned down, his marriage ended, and he was separated from his children. But thanks to LPP, Baker is finding his way back. The nonprofit, which supports individuals impacted by nonviolent cannabis convictions, provided Baker with grants to help rebuild his life. Inside prison, funds covered essentials like phone calls and holiday gifts. Excuse me. Now on the outside, a $5,000 grant helped Baker secure housing and transportation. Baker's story highlights the disparity in the U.S. cannabis landscape, where legalization is growing but thousands remain imprisoned for marijuana-related offenses. Advocacy groups like LPP and Justice Served are pushing for federal clemency using President Biden to fulfill promises to release those still incarcerated for cannabis crimes. Despite the challenges, Baker is determined to move forward. He achieved a personal milestone earlier this year, attending his youngest daughter's high school graduation just days after his release. Now he's focused on rebuilding his life, committed to staying on the right path and reconnecting with his family. So this story went on, and it was really cool. If you want to read it, it's definitely going to be on the website today. But, you know, he was speaking on how he literally lost everything. His wife left him. He didn't expect her to stay. He was doing 12 years. You know, his house burned down. He had no clothes, like literally needed everything, including a toothbrush and toothpaste when he left. So his life was completely ripped apart, and it was literally conspiracy to sell cannabis. And I'll let Dale break down exactly what that means when we get back into the commentary. But this is just a testament to how disgusting our prosecutory system is and how disgusting the over-prosecution of cannabis is. And it is tears families apart. So if, you know, find a nonprofit that you support. I'm not going to get into it because I have one. So I'm not going to sling mud at anybody else's. We all have our opinions, but I would just ask you to do your research about who's involved with it, what it actually is doing, where the money's going, if somebody's screaming, hey, they stole the money, things like that. But just try to do what you can do to get back. Because as we are so grateful to be able to operate, it's, you know, mostly uninterrupted by the government and other things. We should make sure that we don't forget about the people who are doing time and who have done time and lost large portions of their life and been completely disenfranchised, to make sure that we have this industry available. So we are standing on the shoulders of giants, and I encourage you guys to remember that every day, that we ain't shit. None of us invented cannabis, and we need to take care of those around us. So I'm going to throw it back to you guys.
Well, I could do an entire show on this, Ginny Beth, because I did do 5 years for conspiracy to grow marijuana. I actually did grow it. Mm-hmm. I tried to give it away, but it was conspiracy to distribute. And if two or more people agree to commit an illegal act or commit a legal act in an unlawful way, it's a conspiracy. And in the Clinton administration, they really jumped on the conspiracy shit to throw drug users in jail. And I was in the joint with people who were coming off 20 and 25 pieces for weed, okay? And they had been totally broken. I mean, I managed to come out of prison with a law license. I had nothing else. Marriage didn't survive. You know, I came out, lived with my sister so that I could afford to fucking eat. And I'm passionate about this. We should not have anybody in prison for a nonviolent cannabis offense, period, full stop. And these pissant goddamn it, these politicians who promise you to do something like Biden, well, I'm going to pardon you if you got possession. Nobody got a fucking possession conviction and went to prison. Stop it. Do something meaningful. I promised the guys when I left prison that I was going to get a microphone. I was going to scream bloody murder to stop this shit. Weed won the war on weed. It won it. Stop it. Quit beating people up, because this ruins your life. I was physically ill when I went to prison. I came out worse. They didn't give two shits about my health. My family fell apart. They went scattered, and I was lucky because I'm an old white dude with a law license. I can come back and do something. There were so many people that didn't have shit, and their family was not there when they got out. And what are you going to do? You are literally living in a tent unless somebody helps you.
And not only that, you're branded for the rest of your life, and you can't, like, it's a trust thing. It's society. It's the way that society has been bred to look at people that have been incarcerated, and it's fucked up. And especially when it's a nonviolent cannabis crime, because it doesn't matter. You fall under the same umbrella, and I see it a lot. And I mean, look, it's tough, man. It's tough. The families suffer the most. And they're and it's like, I know that every one of those people that's incarcerated, the thing they wish the most is that their family wouldn't suffer. And it's like, because there ain't nothing they can do, but their kids are suffering. Their kids need love and attention, and that's really the toughest part for me, is watching and hearing the stories and seeing it, because I have children, you know, and I, you know, there's just something to say for being a pioneer and what that meant before in this country and what that means now. And if you're going to stand up and be a pioneer, you're going to have to wear that, and you're going to have to take the good with the bad. But, you know, if your family's out there, just make sure that your family's good. And everybody out there that has a friend that's incarcerated, reach out to that family. Take that kid somewhere. Do something.
Right.
I take the position that I've got a felony. I'll tattoo it on my fucking forehead. You want to know what I have to say? Okay, yeah, I got a felony for bullshit, political bullshit. I'm happy to say that. Most people coming out of prison with a felony, you know, you can't get a place to live if you're a felon. It's hard to get a job. I mean, for me, it's like, this is a scarlet letter. Fuck you. You want to know what I have to say? I've got a felony for bullshit. Let's talk about that. Yep. The average person doesn't get to do that. They're devastated. You just can't recover from it. So I take it as a badge of honor. You want to talk about this? Yeah, let's fucking talk about the criminal justice system. I've been on all sides of it. I've represented cops. I've tried cases. I've been to prison. Every bit of it is fucking corrupt. It's just fucking corrupt. And I was there for political reasons. I would not have been prosecuted if Molly had not been a physician and I had not been an attorney. They wanted to send a message. So I went to prison for political reasons. Let's talk about that. I'll get off my soapbox here.
Oh, man.
Please don't.
Get it.
Please
Get it, Dale.
Great.
Get it.
Yeah, I mean, this is frustrating. And, you know, $5,000 is great, but that's not enough. This man needs continued support. He needs whatever he needs to get back on his feet, because 12 years for conspiracy to distribute is absolute horseshit. And it was the part of the article that started, it was like, when he was brought into prison, even the guards were like, why are you here? Like, they were like, what the fuck? And then they were like, for weed? Are you serious? Like, you know, even the people who, and I give COs a lot of bullshit, because I don't think that I could get up every day and put my little belt on and go put a human in a cage, because that just seems awful to me. But even the COs were like, this is bullshit. This isn't right. And you have to understand, whether it's right or wrong, like, prison is not a fucking walk in the park. There are awful fucking things that happen. There's a reason why they have something called post-incarceration syndrome that is very similar to PTSD, because you as a human are not designed to get up every day and watch somebody get the shit beat out of them. You watch people get stabbed and fucking beaten. Like, it's just not something that you're supposed to take in every fucking day of your life. It's something you're probably never supposed to see. So whether he was right or wrong, they subjected this man to tremendous mental fucking torture. And I appreciate that they gave him $5,000, but that is not enough. So we need to do all we can to support these folks as they come home and rebuild their lives.
Facts.
Right on.